Hello YouTube, we're going to be looking at Star Citizen 1.3 PTU. It came out yesterday. I wasn't 100% sure that if there was an NDA or anything like that. So I didn't stream and or really do any videos for it yet. But this is the 15th of October, and I will be following this up shortly next week with a State of the Games video, basically 1 year later from my October 2014 video, on the states of both Star Citizen and Elite Dangerous and when they are. So, first off, I do not have Track IR running. I found with Track IR running, nothing would work. So, I couldn't move my character around the hangar. There's a number of other bugs and things like that. Again, this is the PTU or the, I think it's Player Test Universe or something or other Test Universe. It's basically the test server. It's the beta server. It's the, I don't know. But there's been a number of things since CitizenCon was last weekend and came out and they showed more multi-crew gameplay and stuff like that, which is all cool to show, but once again, here we are, and none of that gameplay seems to be actually in sight of being in users' hands or backers' hands, whatever you want to call it, anytime soon. So we'll go ahead and take a look at everything comprehensively. Now, I've had some very interesting bugs happen. I think the most amazing one was I came here, I selected ArcCorp, clicked launch, and it brought me to this loading screen, and then all of a sudden I was in the middle of space, and I think the game has probably just crashed. Nope, okay, good. So, Stanton 3 ArcCorp, Area 18. ArcCorp Stanton 3 is the most visually impressive world of the worlds today. While other planets, even polluted Hurston dynamics, retain some indication of their natural origins, ArcCorp is now entirely a constructed world. Almost all the landmasses have been sculpted, zoned, built upon, leaving nothing for nature. ArcCorp builds fusion engines in bulk and using underground resources on Stanton 3 to provide engines for hundreds of thousands of civilian spacecraft every year. So I guess you're going to want to come here in order to buy better engines for your ships eventually. Maybe there'll be a discount here. But you can see in the background that all the, I guess, consolidated Outland, and there's Aegis in the background. Although I think some people pronounce it Aegeus. So yes, here we are, the social module. Not a whole lot, frankly, has changed here. There's that guy walking around. There's this guy walking around. I'll go ahead and they've changed up some keybinds here, so excuse me while I go and try to remember what they are. So here we are. People are running around. There are some buggies that you can tell that are crashed. People can basically troll you and run into you and kill you, and then you respawn in the medical unit when that happens. Outside of that, and the addition of the buggies, nothing much else has really changed, as far as I can really tell. You know, 141 one-click. Dynapack. Oh, Hearthstone PDS. Medical Gadget, 779. So it looks like they do have a few more items here in the shop. Yeah, Hearthstone, one-click. Okay. So one new item in the pack, it looks like. I don't recall that being there before. But still, you can't buy anything at the stores, none of the... Yeah. See, that guy just got run over by a buggy man. You can get into buggies, and then people flip them over, and... Oh, I guess that's a power terminal. I thought that was a golf bag. I thought that was golf clubs. Chubby Blast. Really? Really, CIG? That's the best you can come up? I mean, really, were like your writers smoking something in the back room and they thought that one up? Oh, ballistics. I still think it's interesting that 10mm is the pistol magazine, or the pistol ammo size. 10mm is a real-world round. I own a 10mm Colt Delta Elite. It's about 20 years old. Belonged to a relative of mine. And I don't ever shoot it. Well, I very rarely ever shoot it. 10mm isn't always the easiest to find, especially over the past couple of years. Basically, it was replaced It was designed, I think, for the FBI. And then eventually it was replaced by the 40 short and weaker Smith & Wesson round 40 caliber. Essentially, they're about the same. The 40, I think, is a little bit smaller. Oh, so chat is working today. Last night, chat was not working. Hangar bay? Oh, so that's functional at least. So, right, I guess you're going to go back to hangar. I don't know what this is going to do in terms of crashing or not. I've had it crash a lot when this happens. It looks like the loading screen is coming up. So that's basically the changes to the social module. Nothing really too major there. You can still do your emotes and dancing and saluting and giving people the blahs or whatever. Nothing more there. I did spend some time last night in combat with... Okay, first off, the 300 series is unusable. There's some bugs in the textures, and the windshield is essentially mirrored. Meaning it's like looking into a mirror. It's so reflective that you can't see anything. So I'm going to go ahead and... Oh, something else to note. At least in the PTU universe, I could not put my Gladiator or Retaliator in any of the hangar bay modules. So the 300 series are virtually unflyable right now. And I will show you what this looks like. I take it back. The 350R may actually be flyable, but the 325A and reports are the 315, and I'm assuming the 300I as well, all suffer from this cockpit reflection issue, making it impossible to actually see. So I'm going to go ahead and go into a public match here. Do a battle royale. I've flown the Avenger. I've not flown the Gladiator. Probably one of the biggest deals is that the flight modes. We now have... I may not find a match. We now have LAM, or look-ahead mode, on by default, I think, for all controller modes, which I guess is a step towards parity or even out IM versus joysticks and stuff like that. I personally am not a huge fan of look-ahead mode. I mean, it's one of those things. If it's the best they can do, and if that's the answer for trying to balance out gamepad and all this other stuff, it's acceptable. It's still not great. But look-ahead mode basically allows you to use the gimbals if you are a joystick pilot, as I am a joystick HOTAS pilot. I am flying with my CH gear. Now, I do not have Track IR turned on because, again, it has issues. Now, officially, Track IR is not supported. They've essentially left the SDK in there on in debug mode, so it's partially functional. At least it has been in prior releases. But that's why you get the looking inside your helmet instead of the helmet turning with your head and stuff like that. They haven't linked it up to any animations, nor is it apparently plans to do so anytime soon. Now, around the verse was today. It's the 15th of October. I think I said this before. And there was some talk. We still haven't heard or seen Calix's big update post or interview or anything like that on Around the Verse. We were hoping to see that this week, but it wasn't there. They were kind of going back and reviewing what all went on at CitizenCon. You know, week in review, week after. And, you know, I'm beginning to get this feeling after CitizenCon that I really don't have a lot of hope of Star Citizen in terms of being the best damn space sim ever. The dynamics that would make it a space sim, the dogfighting and stuff like that, are largely non-existent. Dogfighting in this game is basically still circle strafing and keeping guns on target facing the longest. There's no chasing down anybody, there's no maneuvering or anything like that. Now, one of the things that they are going to do is overhaul the flight model. The first suggestion of this, or first iteration of this, is to have 4 different flight modes, essentially. Precision flight mode, Precision Flight Mode, SCM, which is what we normally fly in an Arena Commander, Cruise Mode, and then Quantum Drive. And they've added this feature to the HUD that tells you where it is, or what mode that you're in right now. I think you can only be in mode. There's also some keybinds now added to the keybind screen that you'll be able to toggle between modes, which I don't quite understand how that's going to work, because it's like 1, 2, 3, 4 going in one direction. It seems like you would need to be able to toggle that backwards and forwards as continuing to try to load into Battle Royale. I hope it loads in here. But I'm just getting the sense that Star Citizen is just going to be basically an attempt at making more of an interactive movie experience than space sim dogfighting sandbox elements. I don't know. I just the state of gameplay is still bad. It's still bad. There's just no other way to really describe it. Well, there's some four-letter words that can be used to describe it quite adequately, but other than that, gameplay remains to be just horrible. Horribly bad. I don't find it fun. You know, and it's like, oh, but it helps if you get the lag pips on target and stuff, and oh, you should maneuver more. And I'm like, okay, explain to me, how am I supposed to maneuver when the guy can basically rotate and keep facing me at all times? Where am I supposed to maneuver to? Unless I'm flying a craft that is significantly faster than anybody else on the battlefield, such as the 350R. I do have some maneuvering options there, simply because I can execute essentially a boom and zoom type tactics, where you just go in, guns blazing, missiles out, kill somebody, keep on going, don't die. Which, whenever I do play Arena Commander in the PTU, I don't give a crap. In fact, I mean, right now, I'm flying with default weapons on a Gladiator. I don't have any of my rentals. Code 0, timeout. So I don't know. We may not get to see any gameplay footage here. Oh yes, and now the looking at the ceiling problem. Bug. I'll try launching a co-op Vandal Swarm, just to see if it actually finds the match. It's entirely possible also that the multiplayer servers could be down right now, and I mean, that does happen. Searching for a match, not finding anything. I'll try one more time. It should be late enough European time, and even in the US East Coast. One more time. Match found. Okay. Sorry about the spinning around. That's a bug when you spawn into certain areas and stuff like that. That happens. So again, I'm not going to be flying. Let's see if it actually loads in here. I wasn't looking at the match ID last time. Hopefully it's not the same. If you see that happen and it's the same match ID, they've got some server issues going on. But at least it found a match this time, so I think before it tried to spin up a new one. A new instance. So at any rate, okay, here we go. So again, several bugs here with the Gladiator. You'll notice it looks like I'm humping you got two Gladiators humping each other. Now, interestingly enough, you know, that's not a glitch here, but the Gladiator was also, or the Avenger It's very strange for me to play this without. Missile sounds and animations, much better. And now we'll get this. Oh, got me. So yes, it's Missile Spam Commander. Now, I am relatively unabashed at this. I tend to use my 350R with MiG-21 North Vietnamese MiG-21 tactics from circa 1968, which I go in, fire 4 CS missiles. If I get a kill, I get a kill, and then I spend the rest of the match pretty much trying to avoid asteroids, because that's pretty much how it's going to work in the persistent universe. Things don't change too much. So there's somebody else in Gladiator. But yes, Missile Commander is back. Again, I fly a Gladiator. I fly a Gladiator for a reason, alright? I know people don't like the missile spam, but guess what? Whenever we get quadracks, I'm spending UEC and getting quadracks for a Gladiator. I think this guy's AFK or bugged. So we get these new animations. I think this guy's bugged. Just gonna guess. But yes, it has been a little bit easier to hit. Come on, lock on, lock on. Now, I'm not as concerned about weapons balance right now as much as I am general gameplay. Again, it's a lot easier to keep your pipper on target. I'm not sure if it's any easier to hit anybody or not. can still kill people with guns if I absolutely have to. I think our missiles actually collided. Come on. Wow. Let's see here. Oh, yeah. Switched up buttons. So he's coming for me. What the... And then this happens. I mean, granted, it is PTU, but... Well, that's pretty much combat and everything in 1.3. I really don't have much to add to this, so... I'll be doing a State of the Games report here sometime probably next week. So until then, see you next time.